Okay, I'm not sure how smart it is to start a video with a vacuum running upstairs, but this is something I really want to share. This quiet entry strategy. It's just one of many that we use in our live trading chat room. And God love my wife. I give her a list of chores on Saturday morning, and she's got to fulfill them. So it's really not her fault. It's mine. I shouldn't. Oh my God! I hope she never sees this video. All right. APOL is an example of our quiet entry setup. Okay. You've got a super beaten up stock, gaps down a few days ago and sells off for a couple more days. All right, so this is an example of how I dedicate just a few charts every day on one of my monitors to these kind of stocks. Okay, I'm not really looking to trade it at the open or anything. This is kind of a nice quiet entry that I teach that literally could be used if you have internet access from work at night. You could build yourself a list of stocks like APOL that are overdue for a bounce and use this quiet entry method for a potential trade. Okay, so how does it work? APOL, keep in mind, it gaps down and sells off for 3 days running now. The theory behind it is just as if a stock were really ripping to the upside after a gap up, at some point, longs are chasing that stock, right? They're jumping in too late, and then the ones that jump in late, and then it starts to reverse on them, and then shorts pile in also to knock the stock down even further. Same thing here in reverse, okay? At some point, you have shorts jumping on board, and they're late, okay? And then you start to get a bounce, and then longs jump in too, bottom feeders, and so you can get a nice little bounce, all right? So that's the theory behind having something like this on watch. Now, how do we play it? This is why I call it a quiet entry. We literally switch to 30-minute candles, which I'll do right now. Okay, I'm zoomed way in now to show you 30-minute candles here. And let me draw an arrow to show you. This was the opening candle on Friday. And now what do you have? You've got there's the high of that 30-minute candle. The next one you have a lower high still, and so on, right? So this is just grinding lower all day, and just looks like stair steps, right? This is a perfect example of how to play the quiet entry. Lower high still, and you have a nice little hammer candle here as well, which makes it even more attractive. But what we're looking to do is buy the first break of a previous 30s high for the reasons I just gave you, right? Looking for that turn where late shorts jumped in too late, and then bottom feeders come in as well, and you can get a nice quiet trade. All right, so the first break of a previous 30-minute candle's high, hasn't happened yet, right? Now this hammer candle becomes interesting. Its high is 1978. So if the next opening 30 or the next 30-minute candle hits 1979, that's the long entry. And I'll scroll over. There it is, right there, 1979. Stop's going to go below this candle at 1952. All right, so pretty simple, right? You could do this from work. Do this from anywhere. There's the long, there's the stop. All right, let's see what happens. Well, within 30 minutes, it's up to 20. Not a huge deal, but then then 20, 30, and ends up closing near the highs of the bounce, right? So from 1979, ends up going up to 2043. Nice quiet entry, nice little trade. And nothing rapid fire, high octane to worry about, and that's why it's called the quiet entry trade. And it's not too hard to put up a list or a few charts of stocks like APOL that were beaten up. I have another example to show you from Friday, FTNT. Okay, look familiar? You had the same thing, a gap down, couple days of selling, and so again, how do we trade that? I'm going to switch to 30s again. All right, here we are. I'm zoomed in just like on APOL. Here is the opening 30-minute candle for Friday. And notice the same thing, right? There's the 30-minute high, lower high, lower high. Again, remember, these stocks are not front and center at the opening bell for me. These are not what I'm looking to trade at the opening bell. That doesn't cost you anything to dedicate a few charts to these beaten up stocks and just look for the quiet entry, okay? I was busy trading other things as the day unfolded on Friday, but these are examples of the quiet entry setup that you can just have, a couple charts dedicated to them. So what happens here? We have the stair steps. You have a bottoming tail here. It still hasn't broken a previous 30s high. This candle, again, like APOL's candle, looks interesting, right? Bottoming tail. This one has a nice tight stop, too. If the next candle hits 1934, because this candle's high is 1933, that's your long, and your stop's going to go below this candle, 1921, okay? So what is that, 13 cents risk? And so there's the quiet trigger. right in the middle of the morning, 11:30, 12 o'clock, somewhere in there, right in the middle of the day. Plenty of time at that time of day to do a quick 30 scans on beaten up stocks, right? 30-minute candles. Anyway, so there's your trigger. Here's your stop. And what happens? It grinds for a while, but never in danger of stopping out. And your 1934 entry ends up going near the at the close or close to the close, all the way up to 1980. Again, nothing tricky, nothing rapid fire, no tape reading, no level 2 required, right? No 1 minute candle, no rapid fire moving averages in place or Fibonacci's. It's just simple. It's just a quiet entry, and I think can be a nice kind of quiet addition to anybody's intraday trading strategy. All right. If you have any questions on it, shoot me an email. Otherwise, we'll talk to you guys later.